In this video, we're going to be going over strategies to help you save money while you're doing keto. One of the most common questions that we get is that keto is too expensive for the average person to afford. And we totally get that. Sarah and I are constantly trying new recipes here on our channel, and that means buying a lot of ingredients that maybe we only use once or twice. So in this video, we thought, why not try to scour the internet looking for tips that might help us and you save money while on keto in 2024. And a lot of the tips and tricks that you typically find when you're talking about like a grocery budget, it doesn't really have anything to do with keto because most of it centers around finding cheap carbs to eat, and you can't eat carbs on keto. That's just a sad truth. So we really had to go digging for some really good tips to utilize. So the first tip is, do you have a first tip? So we live in Chicago, it gets very cold here, and this is a money-saving tip. Invest in a comfy. Sarah and I actually film in our basement, not ours, I don't live here. We actually film in Sarah's basement, and it is so cold in here, and she doesn't want to turn on the heat.
Well, I can't turn on the heat because it's loud, and while you're filming, you can't have the heat running, so it's not my fault. But you know what, also on keto, you tend to run a little cooler. So I find myself pretty cold in the winter from not eating those carbs.
I know I look ridiculous right now, but it really does save on your energy bills. So we will leave a link to this one in the description below. Do not fall for the knockoff brands. Get the actual comfy brand. We've tried the dupes. They're not good.
You have to wear the hood if you're going to wear this on camera. Yes. Because now I'm jealous. I'm not wearing mine. It's cute.
I know.
I like this camel color.
I can't wear this on camera.
Anyway, let's get into the tips. So we were searching all over the internet for different tips from different places, and we came across this thread on Reddit, and we will link it below if you guys are interested in it. I don't actually talk on Reddit because it can be scary, but there are some really great tips in here. So this thread is called Tips for Keto on a Budget. So this is by Things Are Picking Up. They said a whole rotisserie chicken at the supermarket is about $7 to $10. It can last 4 meals, 2 breasts, 2 dark meats. Make sure to cut up the chicken as soon as you get home. And my heat is not turning on, so Emily, take it away. I have to turn off the heat.
So a rotisserie chicken can be utilized in a bunch of different ways. I think that a lot of saving money on keto is actually optimizing the things that you're buying and using them in different ways.
Right.
So if you buy a rotisserie chicken and you use it strategically, you can spread that out across several meals and make several keto-friendly meals from that one chicken.
But also, someone said, plus, at the end of it, you can use the bones to make soup or bone broth. So there are a bunch of different things that you can do with a rotisserie chicken, and I love rotisserie chicken. I always buy one when I'm at the supermarket.
The second tip that we really agreed with in this thread was to try OMAD, or 1 meal a day. To average people, eating 1 meal a day seems extreme, but to someone that's on keto, it's not. And it can save you a ton of money if you only eat once a day and you really load up for that 1 meal. So trying out OMAD can be a strategy to save you money because you're not buying breakfast things or you're not buying lunch things. If you just kind of push your meal back to dinner, it doesn't really matter what meal you're eating OMAD as long as you try to eat OMAD for 1 meal a day. Other people were talking about alternate day fasting in this thread. That is really extreme. So you would be eating a full set of meals one day and then skipping the entire next day.
The longest never-ending day.
Yeah, for OMAD, and then the next day you eat normally again. But I think doing OMAD is a great way to cut out 2 meals a day. And you know what? This is another tip that I will say is that snacks really add up.
Yeah.
Not only to lose weight on keto, but like the price of snacks on keto. And I really cut back on snacking in the last 5 years that I've been doing keto. I just save everything for my 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day if I'm feeling like it, because snacking, it leads to mindless eating and mindless spending. So those are the 2 tips that we took from this part is try out 1 meal a day, maybe pushing your meal later in the afternoon, and then stop snacking because snacking can really add up fast, especially for keto-friendly foods.
And you know, snacks that are on keto, they're not like made of wheat or flour or chips like potatoes or anything like that. They are made of meat and maybe cheese, like cheese little crackers or something like that. So those are expensive items. So snacking on those, it tends to add up.
The next tip that we saw that really caught our attention was by Novale on this thread. It was a pretty long comment, but I'm gonna cut to the part where I really resonated with it. It says, make sure you're arranging your recipes in a way that doesn't involve waste. This is so true for so much of what Sarah and I buy. We are like pretty wasteful when it comes to ingredients because Sarah and I are always buying brand new ingredients for everything, new flours, new sweeteners. Everything that we do for this channel is like expensive.
Yeah.
It gets expensive. We sometimes will buy $100 worth of ingredients just to make one video for this channel. And a lot of it ends up going to waste. So if you strategize with your ingredients, you're gonna save so much money. If you buy an ingredient, you should figure out how to use that ingredient entirely, and don't buy something new until you finish that ingredient.
And I would say something that goes along with this is buying frozen vegetables over fresh vegetables. Because there's so many times when I buy a bag of spinach thinking I was going to make cream spinach or some sort of side, and it goes bad before I can use it. If I had bought the frozen version, I would have much longer of a time to use it instead.
Right.
It will last for months in the freezer instead of weeks or days. So consider buying frozen vegetables instead of fresh ones.
Another thing that we will suggest is that only buying meats on sale and freezing them. So if you see chicken breasts on sale, if you see even chicken thighs on sale, buying it on sale in bulk is going to lead to a way lower cost per serving than buying them when you feel like you want to make that for a specific dinner. And you can store stuff in the freezer for months. We do this with Hero products. Sarah and I are always talking about Hero products on our channel. They make bread, tortillas, croissants. We typically share an order through Hero. We split the cost and then we will store those products in the freezer. We have them a couple times a week. And if you store them in the freezer, it also leads to you eating them less.
Yeah. So something that goes along with this when buying things in bulk like meat. I found this post by Meat Dad. He's been a butcher for 20 years, and he says that buying certain cuts of meat and actually butchering it yourself can save a ton of money. So in this video, he has like a pork loin and he is able to cut it into like the rib side and actually into pork chops. And I will leave this link below because there's no way I'm going to be able to accurately describe how he does it. But he says that you can save money by doing what the butcher does at home and creating portions for yourself.
I also think though that this is applicable to buying pre-made things at the grocery store. It infuriates me if Brad brings home pre-chopped onions from the grocery store because he thought it would be easier, and it's double or triple the price than buying an onion. Convenience always means that you're paying more at the grocery store, so know that. So there's a lot of mention of eating eggs in this thread because eggs can be like one of the cheapest sources of protein and fat in your diet. Sarah and I are not like the #1 fans of eggs, but we do like them in certain recipes. One of the recipes that we love is called eggs and coquette, and that is delicious with chaffles dipped into it. Last year, there was a rise in the cost of eggs because there was an avian flu. So a lot of chickens died, which led to a shortage of eggs. Now eggs are typically back to normal, but of course, if you are going to be eating the pasture-raised, cage-free eggs, that's typically what Sarah and I eat. They're very expensive, but if you are really trying to save money, you kind of have to forego like being scared of eating just regular eggs or regular meat products. Regular meat, regular eggs. We should not be demonizing these ingredients. And I think that a lot of people on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, they do demonize these ingredients because it's profitable to do so. But if you find yourself strict on a budget, you have to do what you have to do. And if you have to eat regular eggs, regular meat, or if you have to fry stuff in vegetable oil or whatever because you cannot afford avocado oil, then you should be doing that to stay within your budget, right? There's so many people trying to profit off of making people scared of food that it's really, making people feel bad, saying that you're doing something terrible for your health. That is all a money-making opportunity for companies to say, hey, this is bad, use my product instead. And if you are really on a tight budget, you don't have the ability to choose those other choices. So
it's exhausting to live in fear, basically, of everything that you eat. Just try to do the best thing that you can every day, and that's all you can do.
I just sneezed because I looked directly into that light. And there are some people who are wired to sneeze.
Genetically.
Yes. Like 9% of the population will sneeze if they look at a bright light. So you can do it too, right?
Yeah, but I have to be like on the verge of sneezing, and then I can look into a light, and then
I could look at my phone like this and sneeze at any time.
Yeah, your brain is cross-wired weird. Anyway, a tip is to get used to repetitive meals.
It's not the worst thing in the world to eat the same thing all the time.
And it's a routine, and it gets you into the routine of saving money and eating keto. And it might be a little boring, but sometimes boring is good.
Right.
You just eat it, you feel satisfied, and you move on. Sometimes I will make chicken breast in like slow cooker, and I won't put any seasoning on it other than salt and pepper, and maybe I'll shred it. And that way you can use it in many different ways too. You can make a soup out of it, or you can put it in quesadillas with some taco seasoning. You buy in bulk, you cook it, and then you can use it multiple days in a row without feeling like you're eating the same thing every day. But repetitive meals does seem to save people money.
Right. So one of the most exciting things on this thread in Reddit was actually by a user called Deleted 1 year ago. They mentioned something called Super Cook. And this is a free app that you can download on your phone, and it utilizes the things that you have in your pantry and your refrigerator to create recipes. And so I downloaded this app just now. You go through your closet, you go through your refrigerator, you go through your pantry, and you log everything that you have in there, and then you can click recipes. And because all of the things that you have in your refrigerator that you're going to put in here are keto, all the recipes will be keto. And so coming up, this whole video is a prelude to something that Sarah and I are going to be doing here on our channel. We're going to try to be making budget-friendly meals, like extreme budget-friendly meals. Maybe we're going to head to Dollar Tree and try to find a way to make keto-friendly meals. Or maybe we're going to say you have to make as many keto-friendly meals as possible with only $20. We're really looking forward in this new year to save money and to create content that's kind of funny and engaging and valuable to all of you. So if you guys have any money saving tips for us or for everybody else, comment below and we would love to hear it. But this app is very interesting. It looks really easy to use. I mean, I was able to use it. It says that I can make 1,700 different recipes from just clicking a couple buttons. So I would definitely utilize this app if you have a bunch of stuff in your refrigerator. I mean, that's like one of the biggest tips that we can give you guys, and for us too.
Really take an inventory of what you have, and apps like this are super helpful for that. So go through maybe like once a month and add things to there and make sure things aren't expired. Like I found some things in there that were like a year old that I need to throw away.
I found stuff that's like 4 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't know what you have sometimes until you take like a really good look at it and make sure you inventory everything so that you're not buying duplicates. There's sometimes when Alex is like, why are there 4 different types of almond flour? And I'm like, I thought we ran out. He's like, no, you had it in the back of the cabinet. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. So taking an inventory can save you money and make sure that you're not wasting things. If you guys like this video and want us to continue just going over different budget tips, let us know. We would love to do more of them because I'm learning new things in this thread that I had no idea about.
And like we mentioned, one of the best deals that you can get is eating eggs. And if you guys want to see like our favorite egg recipe ever, eggs and coquette, you can click right here and watch this video and we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.